So now, we don't hesitate to put our album in the K-pop section
Okay.
because type of music we create is not only categorized within the hip hop. I think that represents us as an alternative K-pop artist.
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. So today I'm outside my studio and visiting someone else's studio. So today's guest is an artist whose music is very intentional, visually, sonically, and conceptually. So this is Gold Buddha. So today we're gonna talk about the philosophy and creative process behind music and some ideas of his new single "Dress to Kill" and some of the things that shape him as an artist and also on just a young man like behind all of it. So Buddha, thanks for joining us.
Buddha,
Buddha.
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. How have you been?
Thank you for having me.
No, thanks for joining us. Well, for those watching who might be new to you, could you please tell us a little bit about yourself for the
Yes,
viewers?
sir. Yeah. So I go by myself, Gold Buddha. I'm a producer, artist, now trying to become a director in this music scene, starting with Kiki.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's me as a producer. I've been always helping Cherry out when it comes to arranging, vocal mixing, all that kind of stuff. And we have One Up Project. Uh, so I've been helping my youngins, you know, going through this career
Mm-hmm.
basically because One Up community is all about growing up together.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed lots of youngins they've been struggle. Like one of the struggle they have in the beginning is the fact that they don't have a big space and a good networks
Mm-hmm.
to have a mm, collaborate with.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, for example, like small thing is album artwork to like mixing or even a video
Mm-hmm.
like uh so all that kind of stuff. I kind of wanted to gather all these underground professionals in each areas and help them out, like whoever needs this area,
Mm-hmm.
introduce other fellas to work together
Mm-hmm.
and work naturally, and hence we gather up every Thursday,
Every
yeah,
Thursday.
for live streaming.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Please
One
come
Up
join us.
live
Yeah.
streaming, yes sir.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just have a casual chit chats
Mm-hmm.
about anything that's related with music or even life sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to anybody who has a talent and who has
Mm-hmm.
an energy
Mm-hmm.
to do something in this music career, I'm ready to help.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool. But like I hear a hint of like accent from your English. Like, did you pick that up like while you were staying in Florida?
Yeah. Yeah, now my English is getting hella rusty, but then this accent I have, yeah, I mean I grew up in Miami, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Middle school and high school, that's where I learned the American culture
Mm-hmm.
and moved to New York for college. So I have like a bit of New York accent, but
Mm-hmm.
overall my backbone is this southern drawl
Mm,
basically.
nice.
Yeah.
Then you write most of your songs in English too, right?
Yeah.
Oh, is that you believe the language is the best to express your idea, or is it like a more of a musical choice?
Uh as of now, I think I can say it's a musical choice, but back then that was the only choice
Okay.
because, you know, me living in the States for about almost almost a decade. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like 13 years, something like that. And then came back to Korea about 10 years ago. So in the beginning of my music career, I just didn't dare myself to write any Korean lyrics
Okay.
on my song because there's so many great Korean rappers in
Mm-hmm.
this game, and I felt like I can never up to that quality. I mean, for example, we got Essence, we got
Mm-hmm.
J Tong, even Tiger JK. You know, I I grew up like listening to all this uh, uh K hip hop legends,
Mm-hmm.
and I never thought I could match with the quality of their expressions.
Mm,
And plus, I had the ego back then that I must be the one who spreads out that southern hip hop
mm,
energy to this scene,
mhm.
because back then, I mean, even till now, there aren't a lot of Korean rappers who influenced from the southern side.
Could you name a few?
Oh, let's say Crown J.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Oh, yeah, for
he
sure.
was rapping Atlanta. And nowadays there's lots of quite some Kyopo rappers,
Mm-hmm.
but mostly they aren't coming from the southern side.
Okay.
Yeah. So I felt like I should be the one.
You should be the one.
Yeah. And especially songs like Mukbang,
Mm-hmm.
that rhythm that we took
Mm.
is definitely coming from the Miami influence.
Mm.
And even till this day, one of the mystery I have is how come there's no other artists
Mm.
pulling out those type of vibes?
Mm.
Yeah. So we wanted to be the first reference who pulls out a creation based on the southern influence
Mm-hmm.
back in the states. Yeah.
Mm. So to spread out this like a certain music, like when you create music, do you think it's becoming, I mean, do you think it was intentional or do you think it was just out of consciousness and you just can't help like expressing yourself as a, certain
Mm, I think it's
musician?
both,
Okay.
because when it comes to an accent, like, it's naturally embedded within us, but at the same time, um, when we try to get into this game, that's when lots of Florida rappers were rising up.
Mm.
We got like Lil Pump, Smoke Perp,
Mm.
Kodak Black, all these, like, great first generation new wave
Mm.
rappers, bubblegum trap, and all
Mm.
that kind of stuff. Uh, yeah, so I thought that was an opportunity for us to catch a vibes, and just, because back then I also had this thoughts where, damn, should I do East Coast
Mm.
type of flow to this music? Yeah, ain't that like little, little thoughts like this and that.
Mm.
Uh, so when we created All You Can Eat, we decided to add the crunk rhythms,
Algorithm.
yeah, to the music. I mean, I don't think we ever explained the 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 mm, the little backstory behind the
Mm-hmm.
All You Can Eat.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, back then I thought the crunk music was one of the music genre that was never introduced in K hip hop
Mm-hmm.
scene. So I thought that was an opportunity.
Nice.
And yeah, because the more we do music, we notice uh, keeping or having that originality is the
Um,
key for us to
mm.
stay long in this music scene.
Mm.
For us, yeah, I mean, I've been creating my own solo album right now, and I noticed making type of music is easy,
Mm-hmm.
but then when it comes to my own solo album, I learned through the experience that all the songs that I put into my album should be original. It's
Mm.
just like how I did back in like Hana Chantaji and all this mm, attempts that we've done in the past. So yeah, that's been a deep thinking process throughout my whole album making journey, and at the same time, I'm very glad the fact that I feel like I sort of found the answer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And what else? my roots when it comes to the music is always gonna be hip hop,
Mm-hmm.
but then uh, throughout our career, I also adapted or embraced myself that we're all within this K-pop realm.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I'm saying this is because in the beginning, when the distribution company asked us, "Do you want to put our album into a hip hop rap section or a K-pop section?" And in the beginning, we never thought our music could be categorized as a
Mm.
K-pop music.
Mm.
But then later, once we received lots of the feedbacks and critiques and reactions through online,
Mm.
I noticed. Well, I mean, they look at us as a. I mean, I'm Korean in the end, so they all look at us in within the
Mm.
K-pop realm.
Mm.
That's when I understood and embraced that. Oh, we're also within the K-pop realm.
I see.
So yeah. So now, we don't hesitate to put our album in the K-pop section.
Okay.
Um, through the online forum, I noticed there's a category called alternative K-pop.
Alternative K-pop.
Yeah. So back then, within the alternative K-pop, there's like Yeji, Bombing
Mm.
Tiger,
Mm.
and BB,
Mm.
and yeah, we were also one of those. And then in the beginning, I was like, "Then is that correct?"
Okay.
But then, yeah, I was convinced. Maybe that's who we are.
Okay.
It makes sense because the type of music we create is not only categorized within the hip hop.
Mm.
I mean, we've done, let's say, we've done electronics,
Mm.
we've done Afro beats. I even touched on the punk rock,
Mm.
pop punk genre as
Mm.
well. So I feel like we're one of the few K hip hop artists who touched on multiple genre,
Mm.
and I think that represents us as an alternative K-pop artist.
Mm. I really enjoy listening to the story where you were growing up in America, where you decided to change how you looked, like, and then like the way people see you, like suddenly change it. Could you
Yeah,
tell
yeah.
me the story once again, please?
All right. So, you know, living in Miami, uh, okay, first time when I was first day going to school, right? I noticed. So back then in my school, there was 50% Hispanic, 40% Black, and 10% white and Jewish, and 0.1% Asian.
Mm.
And I was the only Korean student in my school. And I noticed uh, majority of the culture uh, inside of the school atmosphere, it was all hip hop,
Mm.
Southern hip hop. Like
Okay.
everybody wears baggy jeans
Mm.
and baggy clothes and chains and hats, do rag. And because I was the only Korean in the beginning of my school life, they used to look down on me.
Okay.
Uh, Ignorance. I would say, I mean, there's a few races too, but now like I understand because they don't know better, and southern state mostly there aren't a lot of Koreans and Asians overall, so now I understand. But back then, you know, I couldn't stand on it. So first day of my school, I was like, damn, how can I improve myself, like swag out, so they don't look down on me, right? That's when I start to look look at the atmosphere super carefully. Uh, so after a few days, I changed my whole attire, like from bottom to the top, coming out all the swag, 5 chains, uh, uh, acting like I belong to them. And that's when they started approaching to me and be like, "Oh,
Okay.
damn, you look cool."
That worked out.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely worked out. That's when I learned that, oh, how I look outside matters a lot. I mean, even back then, before I moved to Miami, I sort of knew that concept, but then me actually applying, completely changing my looks upside down, like, the way it treated me changed as well. That's when I noticed, oh shit, that's how humans are.
True.
Yeah, so that's when I start to take care a lot of my fashion
I see.
look. Yeah, yeah. So I noticed fashion matters a lot. It's like a uniform, basically. Like, if you watch the movie Catch Me If You Can, you know, he keep dresses. He he changes the dress every time when he gets trying to get out of the trouble, and everybody believes that way. It's so easy to manipulate as well. So after that, yeah, that's how I became like Gold Buddha and Lil Cherry and Gold Buddha. Uh, and this music career, again, I knew how important for us to stand out with the fashion along with music. And yeah, so here I am. So blessed enough, again, like, because of our different approach. For the record, we shot lots of fashion magazines in Korea. Um, yeah, that part, I'm very thankful about it.
You also like directed the music from this fashion show in Milan recently, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Shout out to Troa. Yeah, one day they contacted me and asked me if I could come up with runway music, and I've always wanted to do runway music and do something within the fashion field. So I thought it was a great opportunity to, um, yeah, show myself through the music and help Troa to create a new looks based on this music. I was very honored when the Isanim in that group told me later on that she was actually inspired from my music to create this SS26 collection. I was like, damn, I'm honored by that.
And also this like fashion interest in fashion has influenced your new single Dress to Kill as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes. So the Dress to Kill, we wanted to send out a message to this audience, whoever listens to our music, that just don't hesitate and just express who you are, with your fashion, because fashion is not just a clothes. Fashion is also a spirit as well. So, uh, on the music video, we come out as a firefighter, uh, like employee from fast food chains, and then like lots of different jobs that we wanted to display, and the message from that was for them to understand every uniform we rock, um, you should be proud of it. Yeah, because every situation, every job, every moment, we we tend to switch up our gears, uh, and that's basically sort of a ceremony for ourselves to bring up our energy every time when we do something. For example, even till this day, when I record something, say it's a trap music, I want to have my grills on. I want to have my chains on, and, full of my jewels to
Mm,
keep that energy in me.
mm,
Um, that's a fun process, you know. And I want them to. We wanted to let them know, let the audience know,
mm,
let the people know that we should enjoy all this process of starting with wearing clothes for any job positions to uh could be even like hobby activities like rock climbing,
mm.
hiking, or even driving, like any sort of situation. Like it's a fun process for us to like rock whatever we like to rock, basically.
Mm. So when you're like writing a song, like do you come up with the idea first or like a musical concept first?
uh Sometimes like music comes out first and then we choose a concept later on, and sometimes the other way around. But when it comes to Dress to Kill, music came out first.
Okay.
And then mm, one day, I was looking at my MacBook and I noticed Cherry recorded something on that beat, and she said something about Dress to Kill, and it wasn't even a hook back
Okay.
then. She just recorded some bunch of ideas, and then after I listened to all that, it's like, damn, that word "Dress to Kill" popped out a lot.
Dress to Kill.
Yeah. So usually when it comes to the music making process, um, a lot of times Cherry comes out with the first idea. She
Mm-hmm.
records anything.
Mm,
It could be even like 7 lines of the verse,
mm-hmm.
not even 8. So there's like
Bar left.
yeah, 1 bar left. So here's me. Is damn, how should I fill up this one line, one
Mm,
last line? So I try to utilize her ad lib layers or
mm,
doubling layers to come up with something new. Yeah. So as far as Dress to Kill, she recorded something.
mm,
There was no hook, and I was like, oh, but within this ad lib doubling layer, I hear something that could be the hook,
mm,
and now there is a well,
mm,
yeah, I just chopped it up and then and pasted. Yeah. And then after we picked up, okay, Dress to Kill could be the main concept of this song. I came up with my own idea,
mm,
polishing the
mm,
story.
mm,
It's always been like that.
mm,
Cherry's the one who just express freely, and then here's me organize and fill up certain part that's lacking culturally
mm,
or musically, and make a balance
mm.
within.
Does the normal process go like this? So Cherry brought up this idea and then you hone and tailor the rest of them?
Yeah, yeah,
Mm,
that's most of the case,
mm,
and I have lots of fun with that actually
mm-hmm,
because um yeah, Cherry and I, since we trust each other so well, like she just loves like how I create in the end.
mm,
Usually, like there was no disagreements or anything, even till this day.
mm,
So yeah, after I showed her, okay, this is my thoughts on your first draft,
mm.
and she really liked it, and I really liked it. It's like, okay, then let me work on the rest, and then yeah.
And then with this single, you seem to be exploring new sound,
Yeah.
like yeah, in my understanding. So do you think it's mostly driven by new trends or the audience, or is it more of a your own, artistic evolution?
uh when it comes to music process, like I try to take a consider I tend to consider multiple angles, and I think it applies to both.
Mm,
You know, I thought about the trends, but at the same time, I thought about the like which approach would be our new upgrades and new updates of our music
Mm,
because you know Cherry and I we don't like to repeat what we've done before.
mm,
So this time around, uh, based on the trends, we like to go a little bit more electronic, but at the same time, we wanted to express something that we haven't expressed before.
mhm,
So so when I hear Just to Cure overall, there's hip hop, there's electro, and there's K-pop even, and on our voice expression, there's a uh, American rock inside as well. That's why I mentioned like Nirvana,
mm,
uh, yeah, rock star like approach when it comes to melodies, and I feel like that is something we haven't touched on. Uh, yeah, so that's why I'm so proud of Just to Kill, for that matter, because I felt like we created something original once again.
mm,
So that's our personal part.
mm,
But then the outside part, uh, the whole atmosphere, we wanted to fit in that trendy,
mm.
yeah, trendy lanes of this hip hop trends that's going up now. Like, yeah,
Mm. Have you ever like worried of disappointing existing fans of your
really,
music? Like since your new single is a bit different from your, previous songs,
yeah,
haven't you ever like worried of disappointing existing fans?
could be, could be. But then the real fans, you know, they accept and appreciate
Mm,
um our evolution.
evolution.
Yeah,
Mm,
revolution. I don't know, but definitely like I mean, of
mm,
course, we can look back and do the similar style once
mm,
again. But then I kind of want, I kind of wanted to make each pieces stand out
mm,
and then um be more like legends on its own, basically. Like, yeah,
mm,
I know a lot of artists, you know, inside and out, like internationally or within this K scene, like whoever made a one song hit, they tend to keep repeating
mm,
the styles, right? And we could have done that, but then Cherry and I, we both don't really like to stay in one lane. We
mm,
always move on. Yeah.
mm,
And whoever misses our old self, you know, there's our previous songs. Yeah.
I like it. Mm, to try to, push the boundaries of your, music.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm,
Uh healthy challenge of ourselves
healthy
because
challenge.
I notice we just love music in general.
Mm,
Like it doesn't only reside in hip hop
mm,
or any other like one type of genre.
mm,
And like I said, I feel like that's the way alternative K-pop should be within our definition.
mm.
Yeah.
네, 반갑습니다. 파싱님.
아, 네,
네,
안녕하세요.
네, 특별 게스트 이렇게 또 부다님과 함께 와주셨는데요.
Yeah. One love.
Yeah, one love.
예, 뭐냐.
네, 혹시 팝싱님 간단하게 조금 뭐 저희 영상 보시는 분들한테 소개 부탁드려도 괜찮을까요?
어디 카메라 보고 할까요?
이쪽을 봐주시면 좋을 것 같은데요. 네.
네, 안녕하세요. 저는 지금 원업 레이블 소스 원업 부다영이랑 같이 하고 있는 전자음악 힙합 아티스트 팝색이라고 합니다.
반갑습니다. 네, 아까 부다한테 잠깐 소개 듣기로는 그 K-팝을 원래 하고 계셨다고.
아, 네, 맞아요.
네.
시작을 이제 K-팝으로 했습니다.
어쩌다가 부다님 같은 분이랑
아,
잘못 엮여가지고 그쵸?
근데 원래도 아이돌을 하려고 했던 건 아니었고, 근데 시작할 때 어쩌다 보니까 그런 아이돌 이제를 키우는 회사에 처음 시작을 하게 돼가지고 그쪽에서 잠깐 활동을 하고 이후에 이제 인디 아티스트로 계속 활동하다가 제가 처음부터 좀 팬이었어가지고 계속 즐겨 듣고 공연도 보러 가고 했었는데 이제 이번에 정규 앨범 처음 준비하면서
네.
그 피처링 받아보고 싶다는 생각이 들어서 연락을 드렸었어요.
원래는 그 케이팝에서 아이돌 쪽으로 처음에 커리어는 시작을 하셨었잖아요.
네.
사실은 이제 어떻게 보면은 더 성장하고 있는 시장이 굉장히 큰 시장인 이제 케이팝과 그다음에 사실은 아직도 조금 인디라고 여겨지고 아직도 조금 언더독이라고 여겨지는 이제 힙합 씬으로 전향을 하는 데까지는 좀 많은 고민도 있었을 것 같아요.
그거는 사실은 제가 그때 당시 어, 외국 특히 터키라는 나라에서 좀 먼저 좋은 기회들이 많이 생겼었는데 이제 BTS보다도 빨리 저희가 터키 전국 투어를 했었거든요.
어,
근데 그때 이후로 주변 국가들이나 다른 나라들의 이제 또 공연들이 막 잡히면서 승승장구하고 있었는데 딱 그때 아쉽게도 코로나가 터져가지고 이제 좀 강제로 뭐 2, 3년 넘는 기간 동안 그쪽 활동을 아예 못 하게 됐다 보니까 음, 좀 자연스러운 일이었던 것 같아요. 만약에 그쪽으로 계속 잘 됐으면은 아무래도 지금처럼 뭐랄까 완전 힙합 사이드까지는 뭔가 활동을 안 했을 수도 있겠지만 뭐 전향이라고 생각해 본 적은 없어요. 그냥
음,
원래 하던 음악을 계속 이제 혼자서 하는 것뿐이라고 느꼈기 때문에
음,
네.
지금 이제 케이팝이 사실 굉장히 전 세계적으로 이제 주목이 받고 있잖아요.
네.
이제 한국의 음악이 이제 주목을 받고 있고, 이제 케이팝은 이제 장르화가 되어 가고 있는데, 그 케이팝이 이제 성장함에 따라서 그 낙수 효과로 K 힙합도 같이 성장을 하고 있는 건가요?
낙수 효과 제가 생각했을 때는 지금은 구조가 그렇게 좀 바뀐 것 같아요. 옛날에는 뭐 사실 케이팝이 아무리 잘 나가도 그것 때문에 직접적으로 힙합 아티스트가 수혜를 보지는 않았던 것 같은데 당시에는 이제 지금은 아무래도 케이팝이 전 세계적으로 엄청난 메이저한 장르로 자리가 잡았다 보니까 이제 어쩔 수 없이 또 그런 낙수 효과로 느껴지는 게 많이 생기고 있는 것 같아요.
음,
예를 들자면은 이제 지금은 K-힙합 컬처도 뭔가 K-팝의 우산 아래 있는 부분이 좀 있다고 느껴지는 게, 음, 예를 들어서 뭐 저랑 체리도 키키 프로젝트 작업을 했고, 다른 회사들이 어떤 트랙을 만들 때 좀, 좀, 좀 신선하고 새로운 랩, 더 멋있는 뭐 어떤 래핑 파트를 가지고 싶다 하면은 이제 힙합 아티스트들한테 컨택을 해서 그것을 같이 이렇게 완성해내는 경우가 요즘 많이 생긴 것 같아요. 전보다도 훨씬.
음,
뭐 다른 예로는 이제 마보도 최근에 롱샷 프로젝트 참여했고,
음,
알게 모르게 그렇게 또 케이팝 씬에 또 참여해서 또 크레딧 얻고 또 그렇게 좀 협업을 완성하는 경우들이 되게 많아가지고 요즘에는. 그래서 뭔가 그런 부분에서 힙합 씬이 또 케이팝의 인기와 관심을 약간 낙수 효과로 얻는 경우도 있는 것 같아요.
그러면은 K-힙합이 이제 K-팝의 성장과 같이 성장을 하고 조금 더 많은 분들한테 알려지려면은 K-힙합만의 독자적인 사운드랑 독자적인 길을 가는 게 좋을까요? 아니면은 K-팝이 가는 방향과 발맞추는 게 좀 더 중요할까요?
여전히 힙합은 그 독자적인 방향을 유지해야 된다고 생각해요. 왜냐면 그래야 K-팝 쪽 인더스트리가 힙합을 계속 이렇게 바라볼 거라고 생각을 하거든요. 왜냐면 K-팝이 아직 확보하지 않은 어떤 색채나 표현들을 또 힙합이 먼저 이끌고 약간 본보기로 보여줬을 때 그때 이제 K-힙합 씬도 빛나는 구석이 더 빛난다고 생각을 하거든요.
감사합니다.
그리고 그것도 옛날에는 이제 케이팝 탑라이너 분들 뭐 케이팝 프로듀서 분들이 진짜 약간 좀 힙합이랑 분리돼 있는
음,
느낌이었다면 지금은 애초에 제작할 때부터 이제 또 래퍼분들이나 그런 분들한테 통째로 탑라인을 맡기거나
음,
케이팝에서도 그렇게 좀 어쩔 수 없이 융화되고 콜라보 되는 것들이 많이 생긴 것 같아요.
음, 감사합니다. 네, 또 이렇게 갑작스러운 또 초대에 응해 주셨는데, 이제 팝식님, 저희 이제 앞으로 팬들한테 한마디, 그리고 5년 뒤에 팝식님이 이제 이 영상을 만약에 보게 됐을 때,
네.
그 5년 뒤에 팝식한테 해주고 싶은 말을 좀 부탁드리고 싶습니다.
오, 옛날에 그 빌리 아일리시 했던 것처럼.
맞습니다.
네. 음, 밥색 일단은 첫 번째로 하고 싶은 말은 축하한다는 말로 시작하고 싶어. 왜냐면 뭐 지금의 내가 열심히 하는 것들로 5년 후에 너는 더 많은 거를 이루고 가졌을 거라고 확신하기 때문에 먼저 너무 축하하고 뭐 이제 5년이라고 해서 사실 어떤 인간적인 면모나 그런 것들이 자아가 그렇게 많이 성숙해졌을 거라고 생각하진 않아. 왜냐면 지금의 내가 보낸 시간에 빗대어 봤을 때 5년은 그렇게 긴 시간은 아니라고 생각을 하니까. 그럼에도 건강하게 살아 있다면 이제 자만하지 말고 항상 겸손하게 멀리 보고 성장하기를 바랄게.
감사합니다. 그럼 이 영상을 봐주고 계신, 그리고 오랫동안 골드부다를 또 사랑해주신 분들, 그리고 이제 새로 나올 이제 드레스 투 킬을 들어주실 분들한테도 좀 마지막 인사 하나 부탁드려도 될까요?
Yes, sir. Dress to Kill, Lil Cherry Gold부라 오랜만에 돌아왔습니다. 조금 이번에는 시간이 걸렸는데 그 이유는 이제 1, 2, 3 이제 세 개 앨범이 나오면 영화도 이제 3부작 이후에 감독님들 많이 고민을 하는데 저희도 이제 그 3부작 이후에 어떤 곡으로 또 여러분들 놀래켜 드릴지 좀 고민을 많이 했었던 것 같고 고민을 했었던 만큼 저희도 만족한 결과물로 또 여러분들 다시 찾아뵙게 될 수 있었던 것 같아서 네, 너무너무 어, 들어주셔서 영광이고 항상 저희를 사랑해 주셔서 감사하고 앞으로 다시 우리 에너지를 뭉쳐서 더욱더 행복하고 즐거운 이 음악씬을 저희가 이 원러브를 전파할 수 있게 같이 여러분들 힘을 모아주세요. 예설.
네, 감사합니다. 우리 원러브를 전파하고 계시고 끊임없이 새로운 시도와 실험을 멈추지 않고 계신 이제 골드부다님과 함께 이야기 나눠봤고요. 저희는 또 다음 에피소드로 돌아오도록 하겠습니다. 오늘 대화 즐거웠습니다.
예설.
감사합니다.
요.